Hi, you guys. I'm so sorry that I have not been at school. Um, I've been super sick. My daughter is super sick. It's just not been fun around here. But next week is a new week, right? Let's hope that everyone's feeling good then. Um, I'm just going to walk you through, this is the 8-4 homework, the 8-5 homework, and the 8-6 homework. And at this point, hopefully you have corrected yours of all three of these. They're all posted in Canvas if you didn't find them already. But yeah, just, see how you did. I'm just going to pick and choose a few problems from each one. I didn't even look if they're actually all problems that I had you do. I think they are. Yeah, they are. So I'm just going to walk through them for whatever you maybe have questions on. And just to kind of reiterate what we've done 8-4, 8-5, 8-6, since I haven't gotten to teach you any of it. And if I do it slightly different than the woman who you watch the videos of does, I'm sorry. It's the same concept. So you can keep doing it her way, or if I do it a little different, you can do it my way. Totally up to you. But yeah, I'm going to walk through a few of these, and then you'll have some time to start the review. It's not due on Monday, so whatever you start in class right now, you don't need to finish. You don't have homework over the weekend. We will finish it on Monday and spend time reviewing. Your test is on Tuesday. So we'll kind of go through a little bit of everything from the chapter on Monday. So here we go. Number 3, first of all, super important. Remember, words matter. It says if each quadrilateral below is a rhombus. So we are working with a rhombus. And if you think about rhombi, I'm going to mark it up on this, just a few things, and then we're actually going to do number 3. A rhombus has 4 congruent sides, and it has perpendicular diagonals. And the diagonals bisect the angles. So all 4 of these are the same measure. And all 4 of these are the same measure. So we know a lot of things about rhombi. Notice that means there's 4 congruent triangles in there. So once you know all the parts of one triangle, you know all the parts of every triangle and every piece of that rhombus. You're going to see a lot of Pythagorean theorem. And you're going to see a lot of like setting things equal to 180 degrees, that type of stuff. So when you're stuck on a rhombus, think, could I do the Pythagorean theorem? And what are all the properties that I know about them? So number 3 here, it says MK is 24. So that's this piece is 24. JL, so this piece is 20. And then the measure of angle MJL. MJL. So that would be this angle right here is 50. Okay. And you know me, I like to mark all the things I know before I even look at what the question is asking me for, because there's just a lot of things that they're asking you for here. So if that pink line is 20, diagonals always bisect because it's a parallelogram. So that's going to be 10 and 10. This is going to be 12 and 12 because the 24 is getting cut in half. And then if that one angle is 50, then so is this one and that one. So 50 for all of those. You could just do the marks if you don't want to write the number in. And then we also know the middle, these are perpendicular. Okay, so that means I can find this KMJ right now by subtracting from 180. So 90, I'm looking at this triangle right now. Okay, in that triangle, I have a 90-degree angle in the middle. I have a 50-degree angle, and then I'm going to call this X for now. That should add up to 180. So combine that, you get 140. So we're going to take away the 140. And that means our X is going to be 40 degrees. So that's this angle, that's this angle, that's this angle, and that's this angle. So now if you look at what we know, okay, they're asking for JM as one of their things, okay? I know this is 10. I know this is 12. let's call this y for now. That is a right triangle, and we know two of the sides. So here's where Pythagorean theorem is going to happen. It's going to be 10 squared plus 12 squared equals y squared. So that's 244 equals y squared, and then you're going to square root that. I think we just rounded. Was it simplest radical form? I should check. Let me check. Yeah, we're just going to round. So y in this case came out to, was it 15.6, I think. Okay. So that's how you're finding that. When they ask you for like MLK, if you look at what MLK is from M to L to K, that's this angle. So you just got to add the 50s together. So 50 plus 50 is 100. Okay. Over here, if they asked you for like JML, that'd be 80. Add the 40s together. Sorry, it's probably super small on your screen. So that's what we're doing with a rhombus. Okay. Come down here, words matter. The figure is a square. Okay, so now think about what you know about a square. When you look at that picture at the very back of your notes, it tells you everything we know. A square is a parallelogram. A square is a rectangle. A square is a rhombus. So if you put all the properties of a parallelogram, a rhombus, and a rectangle together, you get a square, which means all the sides are congruent. It means all the angles are right angles. It means the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. It means the diagonals bisect opposite angles, but because those angles are all 90 and all bisected, then all those little ones are all the same. Those are all 45-degree angles. So we have these 45, 45, 90s, you guys. Remember those? It also means you have 4 identical triangles. This triangle is the exact same triangle as this guy and that guy and that guy, okay? So we know a lot from apparently knowing very little. The only thing they told us here is that ln is 46. So L is 46. Now think about that. That is also a 45, 45, 90 because this angle is 45 and this angle up here is 45 and this one is 90. So if you're looking at a 45, 45, 90, where this is 46, right? They told us the diagonal of that square. Then if I want to know the length of one of these sides, I can call them both x. So it's x squared plus x squared equals 46 squared, which means it's 2x squared equals 46 squared. So you would want to plug in 46 squared. What did I just do? Oh, no. So you're going to plug in that 46 squared, and then you'll divide by 2, and then you can square root that number. I don't have those numbers in front of me because I don't have a calculator with me right here, but that's going to be your process, okay? If you wanted to do simplest radical form because you remember it and you love it, if the hypotenuse is 46, then this would be 23 rad 2 and 23 rad 2, right? So you could do it that way also. If you're working with a smaller triangle, so say you're working with this triangle instead, because the whole thing was 46 in that triangle, it would be 23 and 23, which again would make this side 23 rad 2. So just depends what you're trying to find and what you're looking at and what you're working with, okay? Okay, moving right along. This guy, it says solve for x. This is a square. In a square, it's a right angle, but angles get bisected. So every one of these little angles in a square, we just said up here, is 45, which means you can take this 6x minus 21 and set it equal to 45 and solve for x. Okay. All right, so that's rhombi. Second chunk here is trapezoids. This is a nice isosceles trapezoid, which means base angles are congruent and base angles are congruent. Okay, that means you're going to take these and set them equal to each other. So 8x minus 16 equals 6x plus 20, and solve that. Take away your 6x, you get 2x, add your 16, you get 36, divide by 2. So x is 18. Okay, so if they asked you what's the measure of angle N, you would just be plugging the 18 in, which is fine, right? 6 times 18, and then you're going to add 20 to that is 128. Okay, but what if they asked you for this angle down here? Well, those angles, because the lines are parallel, are always going to be supplementary, just like in a parallelogram, right? Just a little different because it's not these two that are also supplementary. It's just the two here are supplementary and the two here are supplementary. So you would just go 180 minus 128 to find y, which is going to be 52 degrees. Okay. All right. Okay, now this guy, finding a mid-segment. This is a mid-segment, right? If they're marked congruent and the lines are parallel, that's a mid-segment. So the way I would set this up is your mid-segment, 9x minus 3, will always be equal to the sum of the two outside ones. So 5x plus 1 plus 19 divided by 2. Okay, now if you simplify that, I think the easiest way to go about this is let's multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that fraction. So then you get 18x minus 6 equals 5x plus 20. And then you would solve for x. So 13x equals 26, which means x is 2. Okay, and then just pay attention to what they're asking you to solve for. This says find GH. So you're just going to plug that 2 in right there. Okay. So that's some of the basics of trapezoids. And then last one is the kite. And kites, we know quite a few things too. 2 of the sides are congruent and the other 2 sides are congruent. Diagonals are perpendicular. These get bisected and these get bisected. The other ones do not, but this whole thing is the same as this whole thing. Okay, so there are things we know and things we are going to be able to use. You can also do the Pythagorean theorem because it's right triangles that you're working with. Okay, so if we look here, if this little angle is 18, then so is angle 5. And now look at this triangle. Okay, in that right triangle, 90, 18, and what would add up to 180. So you're just going to subtract from 180 and you get 72 degrees for this angle, okay, which means angle 1 is also 72 degrees. If this one's 43, then this one's 43. And then again, 90 and 90, so angle 4 is 90. Now look at this triangle. 90, 43, and angle 6 have to add up to 180. What is that? 47. So that would make this one 47 also. Okay. So that's how the angles of a kite work out. And then the sides of a kite, it says QR is 13. That's this guy, is 13. PT is 8. Okay. These are perpendicular, which means you've got right triangles all over the place. And this PT is the same as TR. Okay. Those ones are always going to be the same. Notice these ones are not. That is not going to be the same as that, right? Those you can just visually see, those are different. But the ones that go here and here, those ones are always going to be the same. So when they ask you to find QT, you can do the Pythagorean theorem. If we call this x, here's my right triangle. So x squared plus 8 squared equals 13 squared. And then you'll just solve for x, and that will be the length of QT. Okay, so Pythagorean theorem, yeah, shows up quite a bit in what we're doing in these sections. All right, last one. Another kite. So 46 and 46, this is going to be 90 all the way around. They want HIF, so they want this whole thing. Okay, which before we get to that then, let's just look at this triangle right now. Everything's x's, so if I add 90, don't forget the 90, and 7x plus 3, and 2x plus 6, I get 180 degrees. Okay, so you'll be able to solve for x that way. Let's see what we get. 9x plus 99 equals, 180. Take away the 99. So 9x equals, excuse me. Oh, you guys, I'm ready to be back. So 9x equals 81, and then you're going to divide by 9. So x is 9. Okay. They want HIF, this whole angle. So if I plug a 9 in right here, that gives me this piece of it. So 7 times 9, that's 63, plus 3 is 66. Okay, so that's that angle. We also need this angle, and then we can add those together. So now you look at this triangle. You've got 90, 46, and something that add up to 180. 90 plus 46 plus, I'll call that y for now, equals 180. So when you subtract that, you get 44 for that angle. So you're going to take 66 and 44 and add them together, and you get 110 degrees for that angle. Okay. So that's a little bit of everything. Hopefully the videos have been going well for you. Yeah, Monday, I'm certain I will be there. I must be there, right? A week away is more than enough. So I will clear up any confusion you have on Monday, and then the test is Tuesday. Have a great weekend.